I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And today we're going to be talking about breaking destructive patterns. Many of you are in a situation where you're trying to figure out why your relationship didn't work. Oftentimes you can sit there for hours or days beating yourself up, looking at the mistakes that you made. Well, for many of us, we haven't grown up in an environment where we learned how to treat people in a healthy way.
Right, in a loving way.
As well as your ex or the people that you date.
Right.
So today we're going to look at some of the things that would be good for you to change at this time and really reflect on so you can create healthier relationships with your ex if they come back or if you date new people in the future.
And as we say all of the time, what you grow up with has a way of following you right into adulthood and right into your relationship.
Yep.
Okay?
And oftentimes you don't even realize it until after you look back.
Right.
So what do we got, Margaret?
Okay. Many of us and many of the people we talk with grow up with emotional neglect. And it's an ignored form of trauma that can really do some lasting damage on children who grow up without the emotional support they deserved. Okay? And many people grow up without the emotional support they deserved. Then, because we don't talk about childhood emotional neglect, the child grows up thinking there's just something wrong with them for being so weird and needy and clingy, or weird and distant and aloof, or just weird in general. So we've described both anxious attachment style and avoidant attachment style. Needy and clingy and distant and aloof. Okay, so it can have a huge impact on your attachment style. All right? So what does childhood emotional neglect look like?
And you might want to reflect on this.
Yes, you really might. Childhood emotional neglect looks different, of course, in every family. But there are some typical patterns for emotionally neglectful households. First is the cold household, where affection is withheld and open discussions are rare and deeply uncomfortable. Okay? So people just sort of pass each other in the hall. They might say hello, they might chat a little bit, but there's not much of an exchange that has any affect, any emotion connected to it. Okay?
Which is what I suspect was going on with my dad's house.
I would agree. I would agree. Yep, absolutely. Yeah. Open discussions are rare and deeply uncomfortable. In other words, we don't talk to each other, so we don't know what to do about problems, so we just all go do our own thing and don't talk about it. All right? In this household, there is a lack of pretty much any form of emotional support, from attachment to attention. Now remember the list we just went down about attachment and attention and attunement. You may know your caregiver loves you, but only in the intellectual sense. You rarely feel loved by them in an emotional sense. Okay? And I never ask a whole lot of questions of the people I talk with. What I usually say is, can you tell me a little bit about growing up? And oftentimes, I honestly think this is what I hear. There was no horrible fighting in the family. Everything was pretty much okay. We went on a vacation sometimes in the summer. And, then I find out that really no one talked to anyone very much. And I'll sometimes ask, were there hugs? Oh, no, or just rarely, or almost never. All right? All right. The second kind of family. Second, there is the toxically positive household, where there's lots of affection, as long as everything is good. Okay? Positive emotions are celebrated. but negative ones are ignored or invalidated. And there may even be an element of gaslighting to try to convince you that your negative emotions don't exist and are not real. In other words, if you're angry or sad, all right, you better not let anybody know, because we only applaud positive emotions, such as happy and content.
Yeah.
And I was talking to somebody not that long ago, a guy, and he said one time he told his family that he was angry and sad, and they sent him to his room to work that out by himself.
Wow.
Can you imagine? Now, he was a kid at the time. I'm angry and sad. Well, you go work that out yourself. We don't do that kind of emotion.
Wow.
I mean, how awful. And he's not going to know what to do when he gets in a relationship.
Yeah. It's like I only love you when you're behaving in the way that I want you to.
Yes, and if you don't tell me that you're happy and everything's going well, you just go to your room and deal with it. Nobody's going to help you with that. Okay?
Yep. So then you never really learn how to internalize what to do.
No, you don't. Exactly. I can remember.
Sorry, but when I've used the example of my own children, when they're upset, get on their level. It's okay. You're okay. It's okay. Learning to help soothe them. Now, of course, I'm going to say what's wrong, what happened. You fell down. You bumped your knee. It's okay. You're going to be okay. But teaching them how to regulate their emotions.
Well, this poor kid got the idea that if you're hurt or something bad happens to you and you need support with it, you're not going to get it. So you might as well just go to your room now and not count on anybody to help you.
Yeah.
Right? What a different message that is. Right? And then we'll wonder why he's a little avoidant in adulthood. Okay?
He's avoided feelings his whole life.
Yeah, not that he chose to, but just because he's had to. And again, it points out, and I often say to people, you really have to know your partner's life story in detail. Okay? And people will say, well, I don't want to pry, nor do we want you to pry and, be intrusive or anything like that. But you really do need to know what your partner's life story is. It gives you a much better idea of how to respond and what kinds of things they might have trouble with.
Yep.
Okay? The third kind of family.
Okay.
That's the all is well family, where negative emotions are invalidated, but so are positive emotions. You're not supposed to have any at all right? Everything is expected to be fine all the time, all right? And anything that rocks the boat, that's either good or bad, is seen as a major threat. Everything's fine, all right? I have known families like that. I'm sure everyone has. Everyone's fine here. Nobody has a whole lot of upset about anything at any time ever. These households typically involve caregivers with their own unresolved trauma that they are unconsciously passing on to the next generation. And that is always there, and that was always a part of it. And that's always a part of it because what we grow up with is what we know. And that's what we go into the world with. And if we're fortunate, we'll find some people who were trained differently and we can exchange strengths, you know? So if you grew up like that and you find a partner who's much more affective and wants to be there for you when you're upset or sad or angry, you're not going to know quite what to do at first, but it's going to feel really wonderful once you begin to learn that that sort of thing exists.
Yeah.
Okay? And don't hesitate. You don't have to pry. It's okay to say to somebody, so what happened when you were a kid and you were angry or upset or whatever? And whatever answer you get is going to tell you a volume. Okay?
Good stuff.
All right.
Anything else?
Nope. That's it.
All right. Let us know what you thought about this one and leave comments below so we know if you enjoyed the topic and want us to talk about it again in the future.
Right.
Of course, if you want to get our help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Margaret, of course, is available for Skype coaching.
If you feel that I can be helpful, please sign up.
Of course, she'll be helpful. Just click on Margaret on the top of the website to do that. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And we will talk with you soon. To get my help personally, Go to AskCraig.net and click on Schedule Coaching and choose the option that works best for you. I do email coaching or Skype. To schedule a coaching with Margaret, click on Margaret on the top of the page and order a Skype with her. For the Knowledge Creative Healing course, click on the link at the top of the page and click Get Started Now.